Do you know why pork is banned in Islam, or why is it haram?
Yes.
Why? Why is it haram?
Do you want the real reason or the
I
Islamic
want a real
narrative?
reason. I want a real reason.
The
What's your understanding of Islam? Why Islam banned?
Oh, you want the Islamic narrative, not the
Yeah,
real
sorry, Islamic
reason.
narrative. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I
Oh,
want Islamic narrative.
well, because it's najas. It's najas. It's the pork. The meat is najas. There are 11 things that are najas in Islam, and pork meat is one of them. And you can't eat anything that is najas.
Yeah,
Other things being dog, blood, cum, alcohol, non-Muslims, dead people. So these are all najas things. Poop, a pee. These are all najas, and you can't eat them. And if you touch them, you have to wash the area that you have touched before you could pray again. Pork. So if you touch pork, you have to wash the area of your body that has touched the pork before you could, or a pig or a live pig, before you could pray again. And it's haram for you to eat anything that is najas. So that's the Islamic narrative. But there's an actual reason. This is not the real reason, but there's an actual reason.
This is the Quranic verse you're talking about. Prohibited for you are carrion blood, the flesh of swine, and those upon which a name other than that of Allah has been invoked at the time of slaughter. So that's one Quranic verse. Obviously, there's another one as well where this is mentioned, 6/145, which is this one. I'm just going by the Quran, yeah, but I'll show you desperation of Muslims. So I say, I do not find in what has been revealed to me anything out of the cattle under discussion prohibited for anyone who eats it, unless it be carrion or blood that pours forth, or flesh of swine, etc. And then there is one more verse. I think it's 16:115. He has but prohibited for you to carry in the blood, the flesh of swine, what has been invoked upon with a name other than that of Allah. Okay, so we get this indication in the Quran that it is just prohibited. Okay, it's dirty, it's whatever, it's not clean. That's the reason. Are we steel manning the Quranic narrative at least? Nothing else has been mentioned.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well,
There's
it
a
doesn't
historical.
say. Yeah, I know, and there's a historical context as well. But let's just go by that. Let's just go by the Islamic narrative. And if you go into the hadiths, then even in there you can't find any other reason but the fact that it is forbidden and it's dirty, it's najis, right? That's a
dirty meaning like spiritually dirty, not like bacterial dirty or anything like that. Najis means like spiritually dirty. Yes.
But. Yeah. And there are reasons for that as well, because there's so many myths associated with pigs that, they have multiple fathers and all that. Okay. Anyway, so Muslims are so desperate that if something is discovered today and it is in line with their religious orders, then they say, aha, that's the reason. Like, for example, the simplest example is if I tell you that you wake up every day at 5 a.m. and do this, just do this. And in 50 years' time, 100 years' time, someone discovers that anyone who does this in the morning is going to have his IQ increased by at least 5 or 10 points. Let's just say that, Then if I have disciples and blind followers, they would say, aha, see, that's why Harris said that go do this in 5 o'clock in the morning. But I might be saying that just because, like it's a good stretch or something. It's like an exercise. I might be doing it for that. But people tend to make up reasons. It's called post-hoc rationalization. People do that. Muslims do that with fasting as well. For example, there have been known benefits of fasting, not the Islamic way of fasting, but because I think reducing your water intake has never been recommended. But yeah. So, but there's some other benefits of fasting.
Even so, basically, what Harris is saying, even if there are some benefits to fasting, Islamic type of fasting is horrible for your body.
Yeah. So, but then you discover that then Muslims say, aha, see, Prophet Islam told us to fast look at the health benefits. But when you look at the Quran, when you look at the Hadith, when you look at the Seerah of the Prophet, nowhere does he say that he's going to avoid pancreatic cancer for you. Nowhere the Prophet says that. So this is how desperate Muslims get. So one of our friends, I've got a very good relationship with him, Dr. Nadim Al-Wajidi. So he showed this, that it's an independent news article. Bacon and alcohol increase stomach cancer risk. So basically, it's a carcinogen, and bacon and alcohol increase stomach cancer. So he picked
bacon, yes, pork, no. My God.
Yeah. So you get, well, really? No, I think pork might have some sort of meats. Everything has some. No. I read something else as well. I'll show you. Okay. So anyway, he said
there's new studies that disputes that, but go on.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough. And I have. This is why I'm saying this is stupid line of reasoning that Dr. Wisely is applying.
I mean, what causes more, like, what is a more cancer risk that is not haram in Islam? Cigarettes, smoking.
But then they would say it wasn't invented back then.
What are you talking about? They burn things and inhaled it all the time.
Hookahs or the
different
shishas?
Things people burn. People have been burning and inhaling stuff forever.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, Prophet Muhammad, because Prophet Muhammad gave a very clear advice on tattoos. He said tattoos are haram. Tattoos are not good. So he could have said something.
Alcohol was not specifically haram. It was wine that was haram.
That's another argument. Even wine is not haram. The word is not haram. In the Quran, it actually says, do not go near alcohol. Or do not have alcohol, but the haram word is not used, a forbidden word is not used for alcohol. But again, like, I get the point. I don't think that's a very solid point. But the point here is, this is a bad line of reasoning. That they both are haram in Islam for this reason, out of many. So if we go by that, then I said, well, these are some other diseases associated with meat: E. coli, BSE from with the bovine spongiform encephalitis. I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming by the name that it's a horrible disease, judging by the name. From beef cattle, trichinosis from pork, salmonella from poultry, obviously if it's not cooked properly, scrappy from lamb and mutton, and not to mention, there is. Where is our Sultan? There are some other types of meats as well that are listed as carcinogens. For example, red meat. Let me finish this point. Red meat, such as beef, lamb, and pork, have been classified as Group 2A carcinogen, which means
that has been disputed. That has been disputed. The point is that pork, whether it's bad for you or good for you, it's not uniquely bad for you over other red meat. Okay? So any fault that you could find with pork, okay, in generally, would be same thing would be with cow meat. So if Allah wanted to protect you from red meat, why did he specifically focused on pork and not cow and beef, not on beef?
Yes. We have blood pressure, cholesterol. There's so many other problems with other types of meats as well. So you just cannot say that. So he did respond to that, and he said, "Well, I'm not saying that this is the only reason." I said, "Well, you kind of are. I mean, if you go by." That's a cop out. I say I didn't say that health is the only reason to make these two things haram. It can be one out of many reasons. I said, well, can be.
Kind of suggested that,
yeah. I said can be, unless it's specifically said it can't be, because if it was, then why not other meats too? And we know that specifically. It is just said that this is najis. Stick with that, right? It's dirty, right? Spiritually dirty animal. Dr. Javed Hamdi says if you eat certain animals, then you are going to adopt their characteristics or something. So, I mean, there are all kinds of stupid ideas. So, but anyway, so this is how desperate Muslims get when they so desperately want to prove that their religion has some divine knowledge when it doesn't.
Yeah.
To have your questions answered on the next live stream, become my patron today. You can do so with as little as $1 a month. Link in the description below.